Alright guys, let's go ahead and get started. This is going to be our newest session of our solo RPG stream. So if this is your first time watching, you've got a lot to catch up on, I guess. We've been doing this. This is session 46. But it's not actually a terrible time to hop in if it is your first time watching, because we have just leveled up and we're ready to, and we've just finished sort of the adventure and quests we were on, and we're going to kind of move on to newer things and greener pastures. Well, more dangerous, adventurous pastures, I guess. Not really, probably greener. They're probably not going to be any safer. They're probably going to be more dangerous. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and hop in. I think the best thing to do is just talk about what happened last time. So, in the last session, we had just finished that sort of having that street fist fight with the Cult of Narimanah, and the guards came and broke it up. Imbar did kill somebody in that fight with not with a weapon, just with her sheer punchitude. She just happened to crack someone in the head real hard, and they just... sometimes that's all it takes. And so the guards broke it up, but they kind of gave us a pass because they know us, and of course we have made such a fantastic sort of impression on Rimefire that people with Split Valley Oasis are kind of like, it's fine. I mean, there's not a lot of love for the Cult of Narimanah in the area, so it's kind of a wash for them. The guards did take some of the remaining cultists into custody because, of course, they were trying to steal our property, that water Myrmidon plate, corrupted plate mail. Apostate, they were trying to grab it because they thought it was a dangerous relic, or at least that's the guise that they were going under. We now know that there are people within the Cult of Narimanah, people like the Chimera, who are definitely trying to get a hold of us and have ill wishes for us. So we're thinking that that's very much sort of kind of a pretense for just kind of messing with us. Not sure that they really actually care about the corruption of the water Myrmidon armor, but that's where we are. Hey, nice to see you. So we got that, and we decided that, alright, well, we're going to escort the smiths that actually have the cursed plate mail to their destination, so we kind of took them back to sort of their workshop. And we did get ambushed again in an alley by a mage that we're pretty sure was working for the peddler, and seemed particularly focused on dealing with Inbar. No, you should go take a nap. Don't watch this. This will be around later. If you are tired, go take a nap. Don't worry about this. But we are worried about sort of that they're attacking Imbar. We're not really sure what the relationship is there, right? In the solo RPG, we know there's some sort of pre-existing relationship. The peddler kind of screwed over Imbar at some point. We don't know. We don't have a lot of details about that. We haven't really delved into that a whole bunch. But we were able to take down the peddler after taking a fireball in the alley, which was real tough as 4th level characters. And after we just come out of another fight, we did, however, overcome that mage, and we did get a 3rd level spell scroll off of them, a wizard spell, which we will get to here in a second. We did hogtie them and take them with us, so they are not dead. We have knocked them out. We did have our final visit with Rimefire after we got the plate mail to where it was going. We turned back and actually got to Rimefire, which is where we were headed in the first place. So we have Imbar and Jurgen are going to question the peddler's mage to try to figure out something about that. We're pretty sure that to get rid of the curse that's on the water Myrmidon... Oh, you're good. Okay. Hey, if you fall asleep, I guess you fall asleep. What was I saying? Oh, to get rid of the curse, obviously we need a spell of remove curse because there's not a powerful enough mage here. Now, the thing is that as kind of happened in that conversation, Lia slept and became 5th level, which means she got access to 3rd level spells, so there is the potential that we might be able to get a scroll of remove curse, and maybe she can use it. We don't know yet. Remember that she is very new to being a wizard, so she was like, I can try. It seems she feels like she has reached a level in which she would be able to at least attempt to maybe remove that curse, since there's not a more powerful mage here, which means, of course, that now that we have knocked up and hogtied that one mage, that Lia is probably the most powerful mage in Split Valley Oasis. which is sort of, I think, a new thing for her. So maybe we'll find out some more about that. But it's going to take, we rolled kind of for it, and it's going to take 7 weeks until that's ready. So we have a lot of downtime that either we're going to sit around for 7 weeks waiting on that, or we're going to have to find something else to do. Now, we do also have some downtime stuff to do, so we'll get to that. So I did get some bonus treasure rolls from Realm Dart. We rolled really well and got over 240 gold. It was in addition to the, and he sort of like gave us the, since he wasn't able to provide us yet the reward that we were promised, he kind of gave us this extra reward, and of course we went above and beyond. Because we were really only supposed to try to figure out what was going on with the gazer attacks in the goblin camp, and we did much more than that. We went to the trading post, the market, and sold off a whole bunch of treasure. We had some really fantastic charisma rolls to really bargain and haggle and really weave these sort of stories and mysteries about these sort of items that we're offloading. And we got paid. We got paid a good bit, and then we paid out our people. So right, we paid out Ott, and we paid out Imbar, and we paid out Delg, and we gave Jurgen some money, I guess, as well as people like Omer and some of the other people that are back at Amakiir Estate. So basically, what we did is we took this is all the gold we have. This is all the wealth that the adventuring party has accrued. And we just kind of cut that in half, and half of it goes off to everybody else, and then Lia's left with the other half, since she is our primary protagonist, and being a wizard, she needs a lot of money to make things happen. Especially since we're not just throwing tons of spells at our wizards in this game. They just sort of, like, intuitively know. So we did that, so we ended up with almost 650 gold, kind of off of that. We made some market purchases. We got a spell scroll of shield. We got alter self. We got it's listed as, I accidentally wrote it down as blue, but it is blur. Spell scrolls. We got some more things. We got some healing potions, and part of that's going to be there's going to be healing potions for all our party too. We booked rooms at the Nansumber Caravanserai, so our little inn, and the night passed without incidences, and Lia was able to transcribe those new spells into her spellbook. Being a scribe's wizard means that putting those into her spellbook took a matter, I think it took less than an hour to do all those spells, which is significantly faster than most wizards do it, especially since she has that wizardly quill to just... Yeah, that's true. The 5th level, becoming 5th level, is a quarter of a power of the most powerful people in the world. I like to think of that as more of a logarithmic kind of scale, though. It's like there's lots of low-level mages, and then there's very, very few high-level mages. Legal blood money is good money. Well, I mean, you get it how you can get it. So we did that. The night passed without incidents. We transcribed those new spells. We reached level 5, and I leveled up everybody except the one person who might be important to the session that I forgot about because they're not currently adventuring with us, which is Omer, who we're going to talk to about sort of the ciphers and cryptograms. That is their background. So I did not level them up, but they are an expert, and I can look that up if we need to figure out what he gets at 5th level. I don't think it's much. It's going to be whatever Ott got at 5th level. Being a expert sidekick from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. I think that's pretty much it. So Lia leveled up. We got the new spells added. I leveled up the sidekicks, our main sidekicks. I gave them a little, since they got some walking around money, I gave them, each of them, a healing potion that they picked up for adventuring, as well as some just gear purchases that they might want to upgrade some of their gear. Mostly like basic armors and weapons and stuff like that. Some adventuring supplies, things of that nature. So nothing too grand. Wasn't out buying them a whole bunch of magic weapons or anything like that. We just have Imbar's the only one with magic weapon right now. So, and she's made good use of it. So it's hard to disagree with buying it, but I also didn't want to just. I'm not sure that's what those characters would have spent that money on. You have to understand, Assassin's Robbers and Rogues isn't half bad. It's not half good either, though. That's the problem. So yeah, that is the last session recap. That is everything we did last session. So we're gonna kick it off this session, and let's pull it over. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the map first, just so everybody remembers sort of where we are. So let me get that over. Let's go over to the workspace. So here we are. So we are in Split Valley Oasis, which is the trading post right here. And our friends, the rest of our friends are over here at Akari's plantation, where Akari's been sort of billeting them, doing his sort of duty as a noble, which is to sort of house and provide hospitality to travelers, though we traded in his sort of heirloom boat for that, so we kind of have a blank check as far as how long we can stay there. We actually haven't stayed there that long in game. It feels like it's been a really long time, but it actually hasn't been that long a time. It's been, I think, only a few weeks. So we're good there. We don't really need to... He's not hastening us out of the door. We're not really putting him out. But we may want to look at a more permanent solution, but maybe not. Now that Gimbal's no longer a threat, which was sort of the main thing, and that was a threat to Akari as well, which we also have to bring that news to him. But that is... So we were at Split Valley Oasis. If we want to get over to Akari's plantation, we need to grab a boat somewhere at the docks on the lake and schlep it across the lake over there. And then there's Drin's Keep, of course, down here to the southeast, though now technically I guess that's Drin's half-brother's keep, or will be Drin's half-brother's keep now that Drin got killed. But we killed his killer, so that's alright. That was Norcruth, of course. The blue dragonborn, I think. But we killed him a while ago. So that is sort of where we're at. So I guess let's just go ahead and pick it up. Yeah. Isn't half good still good? Yeah, half good is still good, but it's only half good. Same with bad, but we don't count on it. Yeah, exactly. All right. So that is where we are. So that's our last session recap. Things out of the way. So let's go ahead and get over to our current session notes. All right. So we got some goals. We're gonna try to ID that medicine from Gimbal. That's one of our big ones. Now we don't really have. We're gonna have to kind of schlep around the market because we know that Delg has already made an attempt at that, being a barber surgeon himself. Made an attempt to try to identify it and failed, so unless we get some sort of new way to give him another reason to get a check for that, we're going to need to look for some other sort of like chemist or alchemist or healer, physician, somebody in town. There should be one somewhere in town. So we need to kind of figure that out. And that we'll probably do that before we travel to the plantation, check on Akari, the crew, any attacks from the Gimbal, and report that Gimbal's dead, put Omer on deciphering the Gimbal page, and any updates on existing plot threads. That'll be interesting to see if we have that, because we have a handful of people who are there. We have most of them are colleagues from Riverside Conservatory, our old academic haunt. Members of our old research team, the department chair is there. People that our friend Fargrim wants dead, and we still have a lot of questions about that. We still don't really understand what was so wrong with the research we were doing that it ended up getting us sort of like blacklisted and kicked out of the university. A lot of that is sort of up in the air. So let's go ahead and go. So the first thing we're going to do, let's go ahead and since we're going to be kind of moving around today, let's go ahead and go to our hex crawl tracker, and let's do a Constitution threshold for us. So it's Lia. Lia's going to have her mule with her. Of course, if we need to take the boat, we're going to have the boat. So I'm going to give her advantage on the roll of this Constitution saving throw straight off the bat, just to see how much energy we kind of have in the day, and we rolled very well. So we got a 19 right out the gate. That's a good place to be. I think she has a +1. Oh, she has a +2. Alright, so we got 21. That is exactly where we were, right? I just erased things that we could have left there. Oh, sorry. And we're at 0. So the first thing is we need to run into the market, and we're going to see if we can find somebody who can give us some information. So that's going to take us a D4 while we do that. Ooh, so we're going to spend, some time here. So what's the best, what do we think is probably the best check for seeing if we can find somebody? This would be one of the old sort of like rumor kind of stuff from older editions would be helpful here. 5e doesn't really have a super great thing that's like, hey, can you find people? Because there's like investigation, but there's also just like talking to people. Now that we're 5th level, we've moved out of, and this is important to know, we've moved out of that first tier of play. So those levels 1 through 4. So we're into the 5 through 10 levels of play. So we are kind of minor celebrities kind of walking around here. So people know who we are. They know somewhat of our fame and our deeds. And whether you call that fame or infamous, because of course we have broken the law and gotten caught before, but not here yet. I mean, other than we did just kill a man. That's fine. They don't seem to worry too much about that though. So what do we think that is? I think that's just going to be a basic charisma check, and she's going to have people. Do we have people fan out? Yet is the key word, correct. Yeah, I think we're gonna... Yeah, we think... Well, let's give this a sit. Here's just I think this is just an oracle question. So, do we feel like we are safe here? As in, like, safe enough to, like, split up? I think so. So, +3? No. I mean, we did just get attacked twice in the last day. So, I guess that makes sense. So we're going to stick together, which is going to make things a little bit difficult. I was going to give us advantage on the roll if we were going to split up and everybody kind of try to figure out where to find somebody, but we're just going to make it a straight roll. We're going to make it a charisma roll, just kind of talking and hobnobbing with people and being like, trying to find out who is maybe the best chemist or physician or somebody, the best sort of mediciner who knows about medicine around here that is knowledgeable that we can talk to. Is there anybody like that here? That's not a good roll. That's a 6. It could happen. It could happen, though. It's happened before. No, that's a DC 5 right off the bat. Well, do I roll a 1? No, I don't. So we kind of push around. We kind of talk to the crowd, but we don't kind of come across anybody, or anybody that they point to is sort of like a very sort of low level kind of folk healer. They sort of have like very, very basic, rudimentary, like, home remedy kind of stuff that they're shelling. There's no, like, sort of scientific-backed physician or... and remember that Split Valley Oasis is still technically a village. It's not quite a city yet. So there's no sort of, like, physician shop that we can kind of go to. So we are a little bit stuck there. Yeah, infamous. As in criminals, not good, not bad. Intimidation. I don't think we'll intimidate anybody, but it doesn't matter anyways. Lia doesn't have any charisma back skills. They're all the same charisma roll anyways. Alright, so we didn't find anybody. Do we want to spend any more time looking for somebody? Let's ask Delg. Delg's sort of the expert in this area. Hey, Delg, do you think that this is worth investigating anymore? Let's give Delg a roll. Let's see. I was going to give him, I guess, +2 for his healer's kit. That makes sense. So the answer is, yeah, I think there could be still somebody. I'm sure that there are maybe some traders here that maybe on the fringe, maybe if we aren't so stringent about the credentials of who we're looking for, maybe there's some people on the outside. Now that may put us a little bit closer to looking into people who are sort of charlatans, snake oil salesmen, stuff like that, but if we move to the fringe, we might find somebody who has some better information. And I think Del reminds us that, hey, we're saying medicine, but we don't actually know what this stuff is. As far as I can tell, it's supposed to be something. It's not like it's, lacquer or anything, or paint or anything like that. Like it seems It seems like it is for humanoid usage, but it could be poison. It could be a number of things. It could be some sort of magic vial of something. Well, actually, we know it's not magical, but it could be some sort of mundane vial of something. Who knows? So they're like, all right, well, we'll spend a little time on the fringe, where there are a few more shady characters. But again, we're not gonna have the advantage because definitely if we're moving into more of a like shady area, maybe a grayish, blackish kind of market area, we probably. I don't think that we want to be caught alone, so we're not gonna split up again. So we'll make another charisma check, see if we can find anybody. That's significantly better. So that's a 17. Oh man. No, hey, we got it, actually. That's a 15 plus 2. That's 17, so we hit it right on the nose. But it takes us a while, I think. Or maybe not, apparently. Apparently it goes very quickly. I think that means, like, we struggle with finding it, but eventually, like, this person kind of finds us, who's, like, hawking potions and stuff. Probably recognizes Lia and her crew as being adventurers now that we've got a little notoriety to our name. It's like, oh, sort of like stall person kind of like waves them over. You're adventurers looking for potions, salves, healing balms. Kind of looks at Delg. I see that you're a healer as well. We have much to help restock your wares. I don't think he needs any. I think that was one of the things we did with his downtime money. Yeah, is that he replenished his healer kit. So we don't need that. Kind of look around, and I think Lia kind of pulls the vial out of her pocket and kind of hands it to him. Actually, you could help us by potentially identifying what exactly this is and what it does. Person kind of takes the vial and looks at it. I could do this, but my services are not free. I think Lia kind of waves a hand. Well, what is your charge? That's a good question. He's a knowledgeable person, skilled. What do we think? Like 2d4 gold to do that? That sounds right to me. Sure, for 6 golden coins. I could do my best to identify you. No promises, of course. But I will do my best. I think Lia fishes out 3 gold coins and gives him 3 gold coins. Is like, well, let's hear what you have to say first. A hard bargain, but fair. I'll go ahead and she's going to give him the 6. I'm not worried about that, so we're just going to go ahead and take this off of her. So that'll put her at 38. All right. This person takes a look at it. Pulls it out. Gives a little sniff, pours out just like a little, probably has like a little eyedropper, like syringe kind of thing. Pull it out and take it, probably, maybe put some different compounds on it to see how it reacts. Wafts the air towards them, probably takes a little like pinky and it's like, rubs it on their lip, little dab on their tongue. Yes. Question, do they think that they can recognize what this is? 50-50. Oh, they know exactly what this is. Oh, yes. I know what this is. Kind of picks the vial back up and like puts the cork back in it. Hands it back to her. And holds out for the other 3 coins. Lia kind of rolls her eyes, puts the coins in his hand. Ah, excellent. Puts it in his coin pouches. I don't know what he's gonna say. What is this? So now we just gotta ask some oracle questions. Is this? Let's start off with an easy one. Is this poison? I don't think it's poison. I don't know why Gimbal would have poison. So I'm gonna say -3. I don't think it's poison. No, it's definitely not poison. It's definitely something. I think maybe Delg knows enough of that. He was able to recognize at least maybe 1 or 2 ingredients that he could sort of suss out from the concoction. They're like, those are relatively helpful things. Like, I don't think that somebody would be adding that to that if it was poison. So what do we think the nature of this is? Let's see, is it... Is it like a healing draft, like a healing potion? I don't think that's it either. No, it's definitely not that. A vial, something else that might be helpful from a vial, is it maybe some sort of different kind of potion? Like, a more useful potion? No, how many? Alright, so we've rolled a 20 and, what, 2 1s now? Alright, dice are all over the place today. Okay, so it's not that. I think that maybe it's medicine. Is it medicine? Yes, it's medicine. Is it medicine for some sort of, like, chronic condition? Or disease? Yes, okay. So very chronic, long-time disease. Or condition. With a natural 20, I think that, and again, these dice rolls, 20s and 1s, and barely anything in between. So, you know, I don't love the Google Dice Roller, but it is the easiest one to probably use here, unfortunately. I just kind of all over the place. So it's maybe an affliction. I think with a natural 20, that means it's terminal. Like, this was something... Gimbal had some sort of terminal illness, and this was probably just keeping it at bay. Because I don't know what that is. Well, actually. So we know he was in dealings with the Ghast. And, getting, sort of bit or scratched by a Ghast or a ghoul or anything like that is really, really bad news. And Gimbal's not an elf, so he's not immune to ghoul powers. Is this some sort of, like, ghoul rot thing? Maybe. Actually, I think that's considerably likely. And this might be a thing where the Ghast actually marks the people that works with them to keep them, like, loyal, and then gives them sort of, like, this vial that they have to take again and again and again to sort of ward off the effects of, well, essentially being turned into a ghoul or Ghast. Is that the case? I think that's kind of likely. Plus 3 is 10, so that's no. Alright, so it's not that. Dice, you are not really working with me. You're giving me lots of no's and not a lot of yeses. So is it... I mean, I guess it's some sort of terminal condition. So it wasn't something we saw right off. I guess at this point I just ask, is that important for us to know? Yes. Okay. So it's still relevant for us to know for some reason. So it's a chronic thing. Was it like a... Maybe it's a compulsion thing, but it's not from the Ghast? Question mark? No. Dice, I'm gonna strangle you. You're not helping me. Anti-aging? It could be anti-aging. That's not a terrible idea. Is it seriously just like a vanity thing? That does actually fit Gimbal. That's a good idea. I like that. Is it just straight up like an anti-aging elixir, an elixir of youth? Okay. No. Ooh, yeah, maybe the guy's just lying about it. Let's make an insight check on the guy instead. Let's make an insight check. I'm gonna give us advantage, and just because there's a whole bunch of us here. What is up with these rolls? I almost want to close this out and open up another window and see if that get any better rolls. So many 20s, so many 1s, and so many low rolls overall. Alright, so we have a natural 20 insight check, so... I guess the question is he lying to us? Is he? He's not lying to us. I'm gonna go with this. It's like, if he is trying to explain it to us and we're not able to get it? Is it an incredibly complicated thing? No. Oh, man. I didn't know that we were going to get stuck on asking this question about this. I'm getting a little frustrated with it. It's like I kind of just want to take it and smash it on the ground. You know what? I'm just going to switch over and we're just going to ask the Oracle sheet. Or the prompt sheet and be like, what does this stuff do? 67. Secure. Secure strife. Ooh, secure strife. I think this is maybe like a... you're along the lines that I'm going to go with. And so instead of a potion of temporary intelligence, I think this is a potion of sort of... it's sort of like a... It's a potion of sort of like intimidation. I think he was... Maybe this was a vial of intimidation that he was using. Of intimidating presence to sort of like keep control over the, you know, well-armed people he was when he was in that dungeon, who could have at any point just turned around and stabbed him and took all his money, which he had a lot of, remember, that somebody else was actually holding. So yeah, I think this is some sort of a vial of enhanced intimidation. So I think that's what we're going to go with. And no help to you, dice. Bet the dice says a 1. That's why we're not rolling. Tired of it. I'm tired of it. Let's put that on our current session notes. So we're going to try to find a shady medicine seller who IDs or IDs Gimbal's medicine as a some sort of a potion of enhanced intimidation. Alright, and is this, let's ask this, is the merchant interested in purchasing this? No, not really. Like, well, if that's all you have. My wares, of course. And I think Lia and the rest of the group are like, well, we just bought a whole bunch of healing potions yesterday, so, I think they do, like, a cursory look to be like, hey, is there anything, like, actually useful here? Is there anything actually useful here? These dice rolls are insane today. Alright, natural 20. Yeah, no, there's something incredibly useful here. I mean, it can't be a healing potion. Is it a potion? No. Is it poison? Yeah. It's more natural 20s. Very, very skewed RNG on this thing. Alright, so it's poison. I don't have any resource for poisons off the top of my head or in my GM binder because they don't come up much because poisons aren't that useful. Clear the cache. The cache shouldn't be a problem. But I could reset it, but we'll go with it. If it keeps making things difficult, we'll try something else, or I'll just pull out actual dice and roll them. So I'm thinking that it probably does some sort of condition. We got a few conditions. So there are 13 conditions that we have. I'm just going to roll 2 12s and see what they give us. 1 and 9. Oh, so it would be something that would blind somebody. And poison them. That makes sense. So it incurs a person who is affected with it. It takes the blinded and poisoned condition. So they would have disadvantage on pretty much everything they do. as well. Right, poison is ability checks as well, correct? Yes, attacks and checks. And then blinded has a myriad of problems with it. Time to fight. now is the time to fight. Or with that many natural ones, I'm not sure. That's some real bad saving throws. but yeah, it'd be nice to have all those 20s in a fight. But who knows, the bad guys could get all those 20s, so it's a real dicey dicey situation. Alright, so we do find something that could... So, there are a few different ways that poisons get done. They're contact, ingestion, and, like, they have to be stabbed with them. Right? So, ingestion's the hardest one, so that's most likely. Stab, and then contact. So, let's just roll a d6, and we'll do a little pyramid. You see what I did there. Okay. So, you have to stab somebody with it. You have to get it into their system. I mean, it's not terrible. We have people that use bladed weapons. It could be useful. We could consider it. What do we want to price something like this for? I mean, it incurs 2 conditions. Are those conditions... Here's a question. Are these conditions temporary? No, those are like permanent conditions. Like, you will be permanently blinded. You will be permanently poisoned, assuming you live. So this is real nasty poison. So I think it's got to at least be uncommon. Which, if it's uncommon, I think pretty much puts it outside of our price range. Yeah, the single-use uncommon thing is going to be somewhere around 300 gold. We definitely do not have 300 gold. So I think we take a look at it and we're like, that'd be nice to have, but I'm afraid it's your prices are too rich for us. And let's try. I'm not even sure if it's worth haggling, because we'd basically need to get them to cut the price by 50%, and I don't think that haggling's going to get us there. But, you know, hey, we've rolled a lot of natural 20s so far. So if there's any time to try to haggle it, drink the poison of intimidation, strong arm the merchant. Now give it to me. Different character for sure would do that. I'm not sure Lia would do that. But that is very funny. If Imbar was our main character, Imbar would probably do that. Alright, well, let's see. We'll do a little charisma check. I'll give us even advantage, because we have a whole bunch of people. Well, trying to talk down this price. Oh, not 3. And of course, this is when we get the middling ones. He's pretty staunch on that price. I'll roll these d6, but I don't think they're going to matter. Actually, it's only a DC of 8. 6 was our highest roll. We have a +2. That is an 8, technically. That's barely a success, though. How much is it going to drop the price by? Hey, yeah, 30%. We're not going to get that 50% we needed. We're like, still too rich for our blood. Thank you. Maybe once we've accrued some more wealth, maybe we'll come back and see you about this potion. Is this a person who's lives a Split Valley Oasis? I think that's extremely unlikely. Yeah, tennis. No. But we have been here for a while, and we've talked about a lot of things, and I have rolled a lot of 10s, which means there should be an interrupt scene. So I think as we're doing that haggling, we are... Yeah. You're not laughing with me, you're laughing at me. Yeah, my pain with these rolls are... Ugh. It's tough. It's tough out here in these streets. Yeah, let's do... I don't know why I picked this up. Let's do our interrupt scene. Alright, so we got a 10. That should be an interrupt scene. What are we going to do for our interrupt scene? What's going to happen? Alright. Beat that guy. So 9. Some sort of ordinary information or technology. Okay. It helps if I read it. 13. Lose faith, morale, or trust. Okay. And some basic information and sort of our object here. There's that 20 again. It's a rough village. It can be. And 20 is us. So we're going to lose some faith in some sort of information. So I think this isn't really like an actionable thing that happens. I think, well, I guess maybe. Here's a question. Does I don't know if that's a question. Maybe it's just something we overhear. Or, well, let me ask. Is this something we overhear? No. Okay, so somebody actually comes up and talks to us about that. Like I said, we've got a little bit of notoriety now, so people kind of come up and be like, "Hey, Lia, turned dragon friend and goblin killer and you know, chaos warden with her fighting the elemental." All these wild tales that have, of course, the rumor mill's just gone off the rails with Lia. She's come in and out of town with her friends. No doubt, the people who were at Akari and Relendart have not been helpful in just stopping those flames from kind of spreading. Just because they're our friends and they tell probably exaggerated tales about us. So, we're gonna lose faith in something. We're gonna have a little faith, and then we're gonna lose a little faith. So let's look at our MacGuffins and treasure. Nothing there is gonna be really important, I don't think. So maybe plots and rumors. All right, so we've got. I'll just roll the d12. That'll make it easy. 2. Oh, so do we lose faith about the Water Myrmidon being uncursed or uncorrupted? Yeah, I think we lose faith that the corruption has stopped. We're still seeing somebody talks to us about something, and it sounds like the source of the corruption might still be around. Maybe somebody's afflicted with it, with some sort of corruption based off of it. Let's do that. Alright, so we did that and we did that. So we were interested, but unable to. Interested, but let's say too expensive. I'm just gonna put stab poison because it's one that's gotta get applied to a blade and pushed into somebody. Stab poison, dealing permanent. Blindness and poison conditions. Okay. So kind of as we haggle with the merchant, someone, I don't think this person's important. I don't think it's going to be anybody we know. Here is a question that is important for us. Is this a local person or somebody who's traveled here? So is it a local person? Yeah, okay, so it's a local. Nickel tells us of, question, is it one person or many people? Is it many people? No, it's just one person. Person seemingly afflicted by chaos? I don't know a good way to frame that. Because all the primordial stuff kind of comes from, and elemental stuff kind of comes from a very chaotic side of the powers of the universe, whatever you want to call those. They are afflicted with it. Interesting. Word around the village is spread. You guys are so gullible that you pay up to 6G to identify berry juice. The boysenberry. That'll be 6 gold, please. Yeah, we're very gullible. I mean, that's a little true. We only have one person's got. No, I guess Odd has decent wisdom. We're not too bad. Now that we got Jurgen around, we should be better at that. But previously, might be true. We're not, maybe a little gullible. Seemingly afflicted by chaos. And Are they actually asking for our help? No. Alright, they're not. Question, is this person still alive? Yeah, okay, so the person is alive. Seemingly afflicted by chaos. Yeah, I think we talked to them a little bit, which we're going to have to roll another d4 for. If we're going to spend more time here. So, we'll do that. We'll throw it on the hex tracker. Up to 9. As we kind of get I think this person has some information. It kind of perks our ear. We're like, oh, that's interesting. We'd like to learn more about this. Please, why don't you come to us to one of the drink seller stalls, and let's have a drink, and you tell us all about it. Drinks, we're not going to get fine drinks. We're going to get low quality drinks. So coppers all around. Let's say we spend a silver piece on drinks. That seems fair. Just some cheap drinks in the market. As we talk with this sort of like random person. Oh, that's where I need to be. Local tells of a person seemingly affected by chaos. Can they knock down any sort of point of origin? Like maybe where they contracted it from? Yes. How many 20s? How many 20s have we rolled? Have we rolled like 7? 8? We've rolled a few. A lot, actually. They know exactly where it is. Alright. Is it in town? I don't think that's likely. No. Does it point us back in... So we did have a lot of questions about whether Rimefire would be corrupted by the corruption in the shrine. The sort of desecrated shrine. Is it coming from that direction? I think that's kind of likely. Oh yeah. It's coming from that direction. That's a 20, so we think it's coming from very much in that direction. Okay. Appears to be contracted. Let's say near. I'm just gonna say Rimefire's lair at this point. Which is gonna set off some alarm bells for us, because that is one of the things that we did find concerning. Because we knew if whatever this sort of chaos thing that was making the original Water Myrmidon go crazy in the Oasis and attack people, and we tracked it to that elemental sort of shrine, and then we sort of had Rimefire take that as his lair. But we didn't do anything to consecrate that ground or really try to make sure. We were kind of like, well, we needed a place to hide Rimefire. That's a place we didn't think anybody was going to go look for him. So, but that was always a question sort of in the back of in our mind that we have in our notes on our plots and rumors, is that will this corrupt Rimefire? And we did not have a good answer for that last time. But we might have an answer for it this time. And if so, if we're going to go investigate that, we should definitely take Omer with us. Which, of course, I did not level up Omer, because that would be smart. And I'm not that, apparently, or thoughtful enough to do that. I didn't think to do it. Because I didn't know we were going to be using Omer a whole bunch of the session. But, alright, so that means we're probably going to need to go trade out some people. Trade out some people on our team and head in that direction. We thank them for their time, and can I go anything? All right, so we did ID Gimbal's medicine, I guess. So we'll keep that. I'll end up adding that to our character sheet at some point, probably in between sessions. So now we need to get to the plantation. Here's a question. Is there just a boat we can use for free? No. Alright, so we gotta pay a boatman to sort of take us out there. Or, I guess, let's give us a perception check with advantage. That's a pretty good perception check. Her perception is +1 because she actually has some -1. Oh, actually it's +2 now, because now she has a +3 proficiency. So that's actually an 18. What's the DC? Oh yeah, we hit that DC. That's a DC 13. So I'm doing that perception check because I want to know, is there somebody from the Lia estate here that maybe we can just catch a ride with so we don't have to purchase a boat? So we did a really, really good check so we'll know for certain if somebody's here. Is somebody here? Somebody is here. So we flagged down somebody who's come to sort of like do the trading and stuff for that. And we will hop on the boat and try to get them to take us back, which I don't think that they're going to disagree with. Remember that we had the big sort of party and feast with everybody from the Lia estate, so everybody knows who we are over there. So everybody knows by look who we are. Plus, you know, there's only so many 7-foot-tall gnolls walking around, so if you see a waif of a lady standing next to a gigantic gnoll, that's probably Lia. So, yeah, pretty easy to pick out of a crowd, the two of them. Alright, so we're gonna hop in there and we're gonna head that way. Is there anything else we need to do before we do that? I don't think so. We did all the I did all the sort of shopping stuff off screen. Just to kind of speed things up a little bit. Yeah, I don't think so. The problem is like if we take Omer to go check on Rimefire, he won't have the downtime to start addressing the Cipher, which will delay that more. Because who knows, maybe that poison was meant for us, and maybe that note, that, you know, ciphered note says that is, we got to break the code on that note, and Omer's our best bet for that. So I don't think there's anything else for us to do. We're gonna hop in and go head out that way, and we're gonna make our way across. No problems there. I do want to see. Let's spend our time, because it is going to take us. How many hexes is it going to take us to get over there? So we're in Split Valley Oasis. We need to get to Akari's Plantation. So we'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4. Or I guess we could do 1, 2, 3. We can take the short way. So we'll have advantage on one of those rolls, and then 2 of those rolls will be normal from the boat. So advantage is technically disadvantage because we want the lower number. That's a 1. We like that. Alright, so 9. So it takes us 9. So it takes us a good part of the day to get over there. Let's go. So it takes us most of the day doing all that stuff. We spend most of the morning over there, and then, of course, rowing across the few miles across, then trudging through that marsh, which still would have been faster than probably going the other way around, though maybe not. That's a problem with the advantage-disadvantage system. Well, it's not a problem. It's just a feature of it. Is that sometimes taking the longer way around with the boat, where you get advantage on that check, could have actually got us there faster or with less effort than taking the absolute straight line there, which is something that I feel like a lot of D&D exploration doesn't really account for. Alright, so we're going to get there. We're going to rock up on the Lia estate. It is... What is it? It is... Oh, there we go. It is Summer Maiden 13. And just for funsies, I want to see what the people at the estate are doing. So one of the things I have a calendar for the world, but on the back of it, there are the agricultural chores by season, so we can find out what they're doing at the estate. This is actually all that agriculture stuff is actually on DriveThruRPG. If you want that PDF, if you want to just know like what random peasants are doing throughout the year, it's a good way to figure that out. So that way when you walk up to a village, you know like what the village is kind of doing. So we said it is Summer Maiden 13. So that makes it is the first week of Summer Maiden. They're plowing fields. That's what they're doing. They're plowing Oh no, sorry, that's spring. I'm looking at spring, not summer. I was like, that seems really late for doing that. Oh, they're shearing sheep. I don't think they have any sheep. But they might have some goats, so if they have goats, they're probably shearing goats. For the summer. And collecting that wool and or mohair, cashmere, chamois, whatever. So that's what we do. We kind of rock up on the estate. A number of the peasants kind of have the front yard of the estate kind of opened up with clipper stations where they have the animals flipped over on their back and they're kind of holding their legs, and you got somebody clipping the wool and mohair off of them and putting them in big sort of I just lost the name for it. Supposed to be, can't remember it. Big baskets. They're throwing them all bales. There we go. Throwing them in big bales. And that's what we kind of rock up onto, and it doesn't take long. It's certainly as we approach, people kind of wave to us as other people kind of run up to kind of help unload stuff from the boat, from the tray back at the trading post, and start doing that. We kind of say hi to people, kind of shake people's hands, be like, nice to see you, things like that. Where can I find the master of the estate? And they kind of tell you that Lord Akari is, I don't know where he is. He walks the property pretty often, so he's probably out in the fields or something. And somebody will take us to him. And so they take us to see Akari. So do that. So we travel across the lake to find the estate. Shearing livestock. And track down Akari. So we track down Akari, say hellos. Akari, lovely to see you again. We are back from our mission and we have quite a bit of news. Is there any chance, can we see our friends? A chance for us to sit down and talk? Anything of that nature? I think, like I said, he's out in the field sort of overseeing work. Lovely to see you. I'm glad things went well. I'm glad to see you, you all look healthy and in fine spirits, and with, a new friend. Hi, I am Lord Liaden. Welcome to my estate. I think you're going to look Master Liaden. Nice to meet you. I am, Jurgen, what is Jurgen's last name? She actually has your last name. Braunwood. Jurgen Braunwood. Lovely to meet you. Well, certainly walk inside. Take your time. I'm sure you are tired from your travels. Sit, have drink, have meal. I will finish up some things here, and then I will send word to your friends that you're here, and you can meet with them, and I'll catch up with you later. Absolutely. Thank you again for putting us up. No matter. You have done me great services. And continue to do me great services. Yes, actually, on that front, we actually do have something to tell you about that I think you're going to be happy with. But we'll talk to you later, of course. She kind of looks around at her friends. Shall we? So everybody kind of takes off, leaves the car behind to finish out the day's work, and they kind of walk into what is sort of like the main hall and take a seat, and some drinks are brought out for them and a little bit of food. They eat a little bit, and they summon the rest of our crew, and which right now includes, what do we got here? I think so. Arias is there, Maddie is there, Omer's there, Iolus is there. So we got a few people who are there. So they come and meet us, and there are lots of kiss, lovely to see you, how are you doing? Let us tell you about our adventures, and we have some work for you all. And then we can learn a little bit about what you found in the interim. So we sit down and they say everything that's happened since they were here, about going and, having all the issues with the Gazers and the Re-Relendart, and Drin. I don't think we've been here since Drin died. So Drin's half-brother, because I don't think we came back across to see everybody when we were last in Split Valley Oasis. We just kind of passed through. So, and they're like, you have been on whirlwind adventure for sure. Um, well, I'm happy to know that Gimbal should no longer be a problem. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's important to them. I think the thing that probably piques their mind the most is Lia getting attacked by that polymorph snake demon on the way back, and I think they kind of are stuck with that. And who brings that up? We got 4 people here. Who kind of takes a call on that? All right, that's 2. That's Maddie. So Maddie, who is Arias' secretary. Ah. A polymorphed demon. And I think she kind of shares a look with Arias. This does seem like something that might be Fargrim related, perhaps? Extraplanar entity, but who's to know? It's hard to know his machinations at this point. Certainly crazed, but that is worrisome. I think Lia kind of takes that information. I don't think that makes her any more concerned than she was already. It gives a little bit of focus, maybe, but it's kind of like, okay, that's information, but I can't act upon that information at this point, so that's just good to know, I guess, maybe, and it's just kind of a hypothesis. We don't actually know that, so that's kind of the situation we're in. So, let's see. Is there anything else that we had in here? So we did that. We did travel there. We did checking in with the crew. Did they have any other attacks from Gimbal? That's a good question. Gimbal seems to have been preoccupied with us. They're coming after us and dealing with the slaves, so I think maybe not. So -3, capturing his slaves. Yeah. All right. So no other. So no attacks from Gimbal. Let's see. Chat with the rest of our companions. There've been no Gimbal attacks. Or some about the polymorphed snake demon and Fargrim connection. And I'm just gonna put Maddie in there as being the person who's worried about that. Anything else? So we tell them that, you know, obviously Gimbal's dead. He's dead. We picked his pockets. He is not among the living. Any updates that they have on existing plot threads? So let's look at some of our plot threads and see if there's anything that maybe they could have an update on. Enmity of the Bounty Hunter Guild. Extremely unlikely, -5, but, you know, do they have any updates there? Nope. Sure don't. Anything that they found out about the corruption? Actually, that's very important. I think that's actually likely, because we have people here who are specifically dealt with that, and which is Omer, primarily, who specifically dealt with this situation, and have been here at the source of it. So I think that's extremely likely that they have an update on that. +5. Oh yeah, they have a big update on it. So what is their update? What do you think that update looks like? I'm just going to assume that it comes from Omer. Date on Chaos Corruption. I guess the first question is, has he had any sort of contact with Rimefire? I think that's extremely unlikely. We were kind of keeping Rimefire away in secret, primarily because we didn't know. We knew Gimbal was in the area and definitely wanted to recapture him. So I think that's extremely unlikely, but has he talked with Rimefire? He has talked with Rimefire. Did Rimefire seem afflicted? I'm going to say +3. I think so. Yeah. Met with Rimefire. So we're gonna put Fire, who seemed, let's say, off. Really afflicted by... Well, let me ask this. Did he allow Omer to sort of give him a physical, basically? Give him an examination? I'm going to say 50-50, because I think a dragon would usually be like, no, don't touch me. But those two have a bond during our adventures before. So I'm going to say it's a 50-50. So no, he did not give him an examination. But wouldn't let Omer examine him. Okay, so we do think that that's an issue. So Omer is knowledgeable about that. He's aware of this issue. And we just happen to find out about it before we talk to him, which is something that happens sometimes. Especially as you kind of grow in notoriety, you find out weird third-party people give you random information. Alright. Do these guys have any other stuff for us? Yeah, let's see for Arias. Does Arias or Maddie... I'm gonna go with Arias because he hasn't done anything yet. Did he have any information about either one of these? About why Lia and her colleagues were discredited and blacklisted? Has he come up with any information? I think his correspondence is pretty limited because he doesn't want Fargrim to accidentally find out where he is. So I think it's... Here's the thing, is that if we go -3, I think there's a chance that he has found out about us. If we go, and where we are. If it's a -5, then he probably doesn't know. Then, you know, Arias is being incredibly secretive. Arias was already being incredibly secretive, so I think he's going to continue in that vein. He was already hiding out. He wasn't at the conservatory, so I was going to say university, conservatory, whatever. Institute of Learning. So he wasn't there. So, did he find out any information about that? Nope, not a thing. Certainly has not. He's been too afraid to sort of like reach out to people, I feel like. Well, coming to terms with Lia's infantry. I'm gonna just go ahead and knock this out. I feel like I have not been doing a good job about keeping up with that, but we have definitely bypassed the effort on that, so I'm just gonna cut that down. I did not do a good job of keeping up with that specific task. And did they learn anything about the infestation of undead Chirurgeons? I think that's extremely unlikely. Oh, but they've heard rumors. Who do we have left? We have 4 people. This seems like an Iolus thing. Iolus has heard something about it. Yeah, I mean, we'll ask. Did Iolus end up traveling to Cartridge? I think that's not only extremely unlikely. That's extremely unlikely and end up going to roll with disadvantage. Did Meta roll the same thing? But it's still going to be a 9. So Iolus has heard some sort of rumors. Stop. So Iolus heard rumors. The undead in Chirurgeons. Is it related to... We got a few different things that could be related to. We knew this session going in, it was going to be a lot of sort of like downtime, bookkeeping kind of stuff. So I know not a lot of action this time. Unless somebody, an assassin jumps out and attacks us. I mean, it's kind of a... We're in between, we're in that little spot in between adventures. But we did pick up a new quest, maybe go check on Rimefire, which would be the more immediate thing that I think we're going to be concerned with as an ally who's maybe in trouble. So we're... Infestation of undead. So what did we learn about? So it could be one of these 3 things. So I'll just roll a d6. Let's see if it's A, B, or C. A. Okay. So we learned potentially maybe a rumor about why the Cult of Narimanah is fighting the undead. That could be really interesting for us, because that is something we've had a lot of like sort of question marks about, being like, huh? Because otherwise they don't seem particularly concerned with undead. Alright, so let's do that. I'm just gonna roll again on our little prompts table and see if that kind of comes up with anything. See if that gives us any interesting information. 83. And again, this is just rumor, so this is by no means fact. Ascend. Uh-oh. That's usually not good. An ascend. Ascend the unknown. Ascend the unknown. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to jump over, because for a little bit of clarification, I'm going to roll a d20, and I'm going to use that on our sort of interrupts. See what that kind of gives us as a... So they're going to ascend the unknown and some sort of hazard, obstacle, ordinary. To me, we knew that the undead were kind of all over the city. They were just kind of like popping up randomly. So I think that that to me says that maybe this is about like a sewer system, perhaps some way that they can move throughout the city without obviously being... And someplace they can hide from the sun, because we know that they don't like the sun. So yeah, let's go with that. Maybe that's just the rumor that the Cultists of Narimanah is trying to... they have some sort of divine purpose. They're trying to ascend to something, and we can just use the role that we had, the ascend to unknown. We can do that. So, Cultists of Narimanah are ascending, or attempting, ascend to something unknown. Looks like it's connected to the undead in the sewers of Chirurgeons. Down there with the goblins. I don't know if there are any goblins in Chirurgeons. We haven't come across any goblins in Chirurgeons. Doesn't mean they're not there though. Could be. But we know for certain there's undead there. We've gotten attacked by them on more than one occasion. Alright, so they're trying to do something. Their cult is trying to do something. That makes me think that it's a classic, like there is a... Old cities like this are built in layers upon the bones of the old settlements that are there. And so maybe there's something down in that sewer that's broken into something. Ask the dice. They must be. When it's relevant, I will ask the dice. But I'm not sure. We're not there, so I don't think it's going to be relevant to us. We'll find out, though. We'll find out if they're there. The Cult of Narimanah. Yeah. Alright. So, he's got very vague rumors about the Cult of Narimanah, just because they were in town, probably. Alright. Interesting. So, they've kept their ear to the ground. They've learned a lot. It's a trading post. It makes sense. There's a lot of people from a lot of different places coming in and out. A good place to gather a bunch of information. So, it makes sense that they're kind of getting all of this and being able to save it and give it back to us. So, let's see. Are we rolling? Who else has not... Everybody's given us, like, some little piece of information, right? So, Maddie did, Omer did, Iolus. Oh, we don't have... Elias hasn't given us anything yet. He failed. He hasn't sent out any information about that one thing. So, let's see. Let's keep going. Let's see if maybe he has something for us. Slaver's Affliction. Yeah. Did he learn anything about Slaver's Affliction? I think that's extremely unlikely. Nope. And the next one, nope. We kind of got something about the Cult of Narimanah. But they are trying to kill Arias. So, that's 50-50. Did he learn anything about them? Oh, he has learned something about them. Alright, so he has learned something about the Cult of Narimanah trying to attack him. I'll just ask a question, like, were they clearly asking around for him? Yeah. Did they send somebody snooping around the Liaden estate? No. Not, at least not that they found. So, we now know that, you know, a Split Valley Oasis itself may not be safe for them to be in. Now, at Akari's estate, where Akari has his own sort of house guard, he can take care of that. Not an issue. Right, we already saw them fight off the Gimbal's men once, so... Or help us in that fight against Gimbal's men. Alright. I don't know if that's really... That's not really new news, though. That's not any new information that we didn't already know. So because we got that, I'm going to give us a little thing on the prompt. And actually, we know that they want to tie these 3 people, so which one is this actually about? It might not be about him. No, it's not. It's about Lia. So I learned about them. Know that they're trying to tie Lia to the Riverside Conservatory break-in. So he's learned some news about that. Before I roll on the prompts, whether it's successful or not, you know, has that been successful? Are people picking up on that? Kind of, like, yes, but not. So a little bit in Split Valley Oasis, but probably more in Chirurgeons. So let's put it that way. And so we have that Elias, and that Narimanah has been somewhat successful in tying Lia to the, let's say, break-in and fire at Riverside Conservatory. Okay, and that's all the information. I'm just going to let them have... Each of them got one little thing. So, and I think Lia's like, well, you certainly have kept busy. And a lot of information. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Well, what do we do next? Well, I think the most pressing matter is obviously Rimefire. And there seems to still be some latent chaos corruption that is afflicting the area. So I guess, again, to the southeast, right? If I remember where the layer is. Maybe. I think that's some original. I think she pulls out the coded missive and kind of slides it over to Omer. We also found this. We were hoping that you would be able to take some time to break it, but of course, if we're going to see Rimefire, I assume that you want to come. Does he want to come? I think that's a +5 for sure. He wants to come. Yeah. It's like, oh yes. I think it would be much easier for all of us if I went as part of the party as well. Agreed. I think that's relevant. Well then, I guess the codes will have to wait for another day. What else did we want them to look at? And that was it. Alright, so I think we're going to bundle up. We'll talk to Akari. We'll let him know about that. Well, I guess there's a question. Does Akari have any... I guess Akari's here. We have, what, like one plot rumor thread left? Which is about the peddler. Did Akari find out anything about the peddler? 50-50. He might. He deals a lot with trade. He's a big trader in the area. He's like the big man on campus around here. So if anybody's gonna know about it, it's gonna be him. And he's in the right area. So yeah, I'm gonna give him a +3. I think he's got the right resources and the right influence to be able to find out something about the peddler. He did. He's found out a little bit about the peddler. So, do we know what he pinned on Imbar, which is something... I guess it's a question. Does Imbar know? I think it's extremely likely that Imbar knows. Yeah, okay, Imbar knows. So let's just roll the prompts. 20 and 5. Nice low numbers for us. Push. For pushing a vice. Alright. Ooh, we had the little vial of stuff that was getting traded around that the peddler wanted, right? Gosh, what was that stuff? It's been so long since we messed with that. So we got that, the infestation. I'm trying to remember, because that happened in Chirurgeons. I can't remember what we actually gave to the peddler. I would have to go back and probably look at that episode. Or session. Alright, well, anyways. So we were, what was it? 20 and 5. Pushing some sort of ice. So I think that they're pinning some sort of like drug on her. I think that makes the most sense. Some sort of like narcotic trade. That makes sense to me. That may or may not be related to Slaver's Affliction and or... I guess that's a question. Is it Slaver's Affliction? No. So then it's probably the undead, right? Yeah, I'll give myself the +3 on that retroactively, just because I think that makes sense, rather than just being random. Yeah, so they're gonna tie. That makes sense. All right, we'll go with that. I will go with that. Let's go to our notes. So Akari learned that the peddler pinned pushing some illicit drug. People of Chirurgeons that turns them into the undead. And that's what I was going to say, it turns them into undead when they died, but I think that whatever information we've gotten so far is very minimal. So, alright, so that's what we learned. So we have places to go, people to see about stuff, and it's all kind of pulled back in. Very little of it seems to deal about Bargrim, which is sort of our primary concern. But I still think, with all of this, that Rimefire is our priority. I think we have to check on Rimefire. I think that just makes sense. I think we have to check on him. So, I think that's what we're going to do. I'm going to take a quick bio break, and then we're going to get back, and we'll get everybody loaded up, and we're going to send off and start heading our way towards the... Actually, what we'll do is we'll take a full night's rest, because we've already traveled quite a bit today. Take a full night's rest, everybody will be fresh-faced in the morning and ready to go, and then we will all hop into a boat and head up the river, and we will head to Rimefire's lair. But I'm going to take that quick break. I will be back in just a few minutes, right? Alright, let's get back into it. So, we have, we're going to sit down and we're going to do a rest. So, we do just need to make sure, you know what? I realized we were spending all that time in town. We didn't actually see if there were any encounters. That's not bad. Well, I forgot about that, but now we're going to do it overnight. Now that we're resting overnight, just made me think about it. So we'll just do two. If anything happens while overnight. Some sort of thing. So we are in sort of like a marshy wetlands area. It's not going to be anything of much consequence, but let's just see kind of what happens overnight. See if it's worth even doing anything about. There we go. Need a d20. So I'm going to roll it twice and combine it. Let's see what we come up with. 7 and 17. Neither of those will make sense here. It's unavoidable deep water. Generally, these wilderness dressings are for like when you're moving. So unavoidable deep water or find or lose path or tracks. Oh, we could find or lose. We could find some tracks. Interesting. So that's more of something I think that happens in the AM when we wake up. I think everybody wakes up in the morning and kind of comes down. And there's kind of like a little bit of a hubbub down in sort of like the main hall, and Akari's kind of talking to a few people, and I think Leo's kind of rubbing her ass. Morning, Master Leon. Is there an issue? I think Akari kind of turns around and looks at her. Nothing to truly be worried around. We just found some tracks around the estate, and obviously just making sure everything's fine. I don't think there should be an issue, but never know. Having you back in town, and while I may be your friend, you have made others your enemies, so just making sure that everyone here is safe. Myself included. Oh, of course, and again, I am sorry for the trouble. May we assist? Oh, if you like. I know you must be busy with many other things, but if you have the spare the time, I'm sure we could use your expertise in these matters. Of course, let me gather my companions and we'll take a look. So, we found some tracks around the outside of the estate. I'm going to take a look at them. Obviously, they found them, so we don't have to go looking for them. Are they humanoid? Question mark. And that seems kind of likely to me. If they're worried about it and it's not just like an animal track. So, +3. Yep, they're certainly humanoid. So they found some humanoid tracks around. So we'll put Ock and her sniffer on it, because she is for sure our best tracker. We'll give her. She is an expert in survival. She has her expertise. So she's gonna take a look at it. So she has a +7 now looking at it. And I'm gonna give her advantage because we have a bunch of people with her. So she's gonna take a look at them. 17, that's pretty good. So can she intuit any information out of this? That's a 15, so yeah. Alright, question, can she intuit any information out of this? Not particularly. That is an interrupt scene, though. Do we want to do an interrupt scene? These people might still be around. So yeah, let's do an interrupt. So we're gonna look at the stuff in the morning and try to figure that out, and then something happens. It's gonna happen. 1922. Alright, well, that's us. Oh, I forgot. I still need to fix this. This is not correct. I'm missing a thing. I gotta go figure out which one is the thing and put it back in. 19.2 betrays. So, it's probably an extraordinary trick or trap that's meant to betray, I believe, creed or doctrine. Oh, this may be the chaos stuff. Is this This is more chaos-oriented things. I think that's kind of likely. What's there? Yeah. So something chaotic is going to strike out at us while we're taking this, because it is a trick or trap. I'm gonna go with trap. I don't know. Chaos is tricksy, so maybe a trick. Let's look at it. Let's look at what we got in here. We'll throw something together. Oop, I went too far. So I'll do a 1d12 and then a 1d20, and then I'll add them together. They're from two separate lists. One's from the hazard and obstacle list, which will be kind of the trick side, and then 12 side will be kind of the trap side. So on the trap side, a charm or mind-altering trick. Uh-oh, not good. And 3. It says lake, so something in the water. There's some sort of mind-altering aspect of the water. It's going to try to slap one of us. Any sort of mind-altering thing is typically wisdom. But I'm going to do a little tree. So 1 through 3, it's going to be wisdom. 4 or 5 is going to be, I guess, intelligence, and then 6 will be charisma. Okay, yeah. So wisdom saving throws. Does it attack everybody? Question mark? No. So just odd. I guess odd kind of looks down. Does that classic thing where you kind of look down, and there's been some sort of I think there are boot prints in the sort of marshy area that she's kind of following through, and the rest of the group's sort of behind her, kind of looking over it or anything. Question: are the boot marks one person? No. Okay, so group. Let's say 2d4. All right, so we got like 5. So a small group, like a small group of like 5 people. So we're moving through the muck and the mire of this wetlands, sort of marshy area, kind of covering over, and it's kind of hard to follow the tracks, but Ott's an expert tracker, so she's kind of looking through it. But then catches a view of something in the water, and it's going to mind alter her. But I wonder to what degree. What do we think it does? So there's going to be some sort of mind-altering thing in the water. Since I don't know what it's going to do, I'm just going to roll in the prompts table real quick. So 2, tell. It's going to tell her something. And 24. Tell her to find freedom. That feels like a cause fear effect. Like she must flee from this place. Like some sort of has her sort of jumping at shadows. So I think she's kind of looking down, she's falling in, and she kind of catches this thing. And there's something supernatural, something that she sees a reflection in the water, and her mind leaves and goes somewhere else for a moment. And this existential, this sort of like dread just sort of fills up within her. And that this place is not safe. We have to get out of this place. Yeah, maybe that's the trick. Is like Akari's place is not safe. We must leave this place. Oh, this is not a safe haven for us. We must go. I didn't mean to roll that. Yeah, so I think she turns around. Here's a question: does she? Oh, she gotta make the save. I guess I should probably actually roll her save first, which she's pretty good at. Okay. So that's 12 plus 1. So 13. Is a 13 gonna do it? Probably not. That's a 14. Missed it by that much. Alright, so Ott starts freaking out. This place is not safe. We have to leave here. We have to leave here now. I'll get the boats ready. Grab your things. We're leaving. And I think the rest of them are like, what's wrong? What's going on? I have a bad feeling this place is not safe. These people, whoever they are, they mean terrible harm. I don't think this is a safe place. She tries to convince them that it is not a safe place for any of the members, so we shouldn't leave anybody behind. So yeah, she's going to try to make a compelling argument for that. Which she's not very good at. She's not much of a talky person. So that's 13. She's going to use Persuasion. She doesn't have that. She has, in fact, a -1, so 12. So I'm going to give them sort of like an insight check. I think we can go individually, just to see like who she can convince. So, Lia, I'm going to give Lia advantage against this, because technically, as an elf, she has advantage against charm effects, so I think even a secondary charm effect like this, she would have advantage on. That makes sense to me? Like, she would be able to clock that and be like, eh. So this is sort of an insight check for her, with a 14 on the die. With her -1 is a 13, which is exactly what Ott rolled, right? So she's kind of on the fence. She's like, I think Ott's acting strangely. We know what she's doing. Imbar is not going to have any bonuses to any of this. So she'll roll flat. I think we should trust her. Look, she's an expert tracker. If we're in her area of expertise. If she has a bad feeling, she has a bad gut feeling, we should probably listen to it. Okay, so that's Imbar. Delg. I agree with Imbar. Okie doke. Alright, so unless Jurgen agrees with Lia, then it's overwhelmingly going to be like, we can't stay here at Akari's estate anymore. Which means this trap will be incredibly powerful and would have worked incredibly well. Which may be to just get them to a place where they're not safe. Whew. And we don't know who's doing this, but we can probably hazard a guess that there's a few likely suspects. Alright, so everybody's against Lia on this. Lia's like, I think this is a magical effect, and everybody else is like, no, what is this? So unless Lia's got some spell she can burn, which I don't think she has anything that's going to be related to this. Moldorf's True Strike, she could detect magic. That is the one thing she could do. She could detect magic. So I think that's what she will... She'll try to convince them to let her detect magic. So what will the DC for that be? That they will hold on... Oh, wow. Literally cannot fail this. That is a DC of 1. So unless I roll a natural 1 on this D20, she has enough influence to at least be like, let me do this ritual, because I think there is a magical effect that's going on. And because, like the same thing, they trust Ott's expertise and her gut feeling, they're going to trust Lia and her gut feeling about magic. Yeah, no, she completely convinces them with an 18. She's like, no. I believe this is a magical compulsion effect. Please. Allow me. We're going to go ahead and do that. So, she gets down sort of on her knees, she clears a space and sets out the things that she needs to do detect magic as a ritual. This is clearly a magical effect. Can she determine it's a trap? I think that's an investigation check. Yeah, because she's going to detect magic. It could be either investigation or arcana. I think those will be just about the same for her, so I don't think it's going to matter which one we choose. Yeah, she's trained in investigation and arcana, so it's not going to matter. So she has a +6 to the roll. Can she determine that it is a trap? 15. That's pretty good. That's a 15. Alright, so she does just barely. She's like, it's well constructed and well hidden, but I'm fairly certain this is a compulsion meant to pull us away from the safety of the Liaden estate. I think that's what our 5 friends here were doing. Now the question is really, is Ott anywhere to be seen? Because Ott's actively freaking out. Did Ott hang around? I think that's extremely unlikely. She certainly did not. Ott is beelining it through the marsh to get to a boat. Grabbing her stuff and like getting in the boat and being like, that's what she said she was going to do, that's what she's going to do. And trust me, well, Imbar might be able to stop her. But if they were going to wait on the detect magic ritual, I'm just going to do kind of a luck roll, one versus the other. So the first die is going to be Ott, and the second die is going to be Imbar about, because I don't think they're in a place where they're going to like physically restrain her, but I think they are in a place where they're going to be like, hey, I understand you're freaking out. Hold on just a second, and then we'll go. If whatever Lia finds, once we confirm, we're with you. And trying to calm her down. Nope. Ott pushes past, and she's like, that's fine. You can do that. I will grab our things and put it in a boat. The trade-off is that we were going to do that anyways. We're going to take a boat anyway, so we'll just have to see whether she waits for us or not. So we do that. We have that interaction. Now, of course, she casts it as ritual, so it takes 11 minutes for her to do that. In 11 minutes, Ott has hoofed it back to the estate. She's grabbed everybody's stuff. She has grabbed a boat, maybe pushed somebody out of the way to get a boat. Again, she's kind of, and tossed anything that was in the boat out of it, chucked everybody's stuff into it, and has probably actually pushed off from the shore, and is actually just kind of sitting in the shallows, water, just holding the boat, waiting for other people to show up so they can wade out and get in there and then get out there. I guess, so she needs to make another wisdom saving throw, I think. But she overcomes it. I think after a while of her sitting in that boat and just having that silence of just the water kind of lapping up against the hull. She's sitting there just kind of waiting with nothing, but nothing's happened around her. That she starts to kind of come down from it. And I think she realizes, okay, that sort of initial sort of fight or flight response kind of subsides. And as that sort of like anxious energy in her body starts to disperse, she takes some deep breaths, and I think she's fine. And I think she actually probably just rows the boat back in and enough that it's back on shore. I think she just stands up beside it. And then I think everybody else kind of comes up and kind of comes back to Akari. They kind of tell Akari what they found. They're like, well, we don't know where they went. We didn't follow them. There's definitely magical trickery in this area. So came across a magical glamour on the water over the tracks that looks like it was meant to send us from this place. Somebody who's trying to get us out from behind your walls. I guess. Oh. All right. Any idea who this might be? Well, we have a narrow list of usual suspects. Could be the Cultists of Narimanah. Could be the Peddler. Could be the Chimera. Could be Fargrim. Could be a number of people. Could be the assassins from the Bounty Hunters Guild. Could be any number of people. I think you are safe. And I think Akari's like, yeah, I think I am relatively safe here. And we had not had any such things happen until you specifically came back. So I think, unfortunately, trouble follows you, Lia. I'm aware. But we are going to go check on our friend, so you should be safe for hopefully a day or so. And then if we need to come back, we'll do that. If not, we may go forward and deal with another crisis. One of our many crises. Understood. Is there anything I could do for you? Do you have food? Anything of that nature? Yeah, no, I think we're good there. I need I guess the question, did they bring the mule with her, or the mule still back at Nansumber? Okay, so the mule's still back at Nansumber. So we're gonna have to pick our mule back up at some point, but we do not have our mule with us, which makes sense because we're using the boat. If you can lend us this boat, that will be good enough aid. We know where we're going. Of course, you can take the boat. Please, of course, bring it back. Vital to our livelihood, but of course I can loan it out to you. And I think Lia kind of goes to give him some money for the trouble, and he kind of waves her off. No. Unnecessary. Don't worry about it. Just bring it back safe. And if you don't, maybe we can talk about a replacement at that point. I think they clasp hands, they share a goodbye, and then everybody tumbles into the boat. And we're gonna take off, and we are gonna head on our way off to the desecrated shrine where our dragon wormling friend Rimefire is apparently still at, as far as we know. Who may or may not be corrupted by this chaos influence that's apparently still going on in the area. So the source was indeed not the Myrmidon itself. So that's what we're gonna do. So let's jump over to our hexcrawl tracker. So we're gonna new day, new threshold. Okay, Constitution threshold and D20. Gonna give them advantage because they are on the boat. Didn't matter. Gonna be the same thing either way. That's 15. So not quite as robust as we were yesterday. That's okay. As long as we're moving to the boat, that shouldn't be an issue. But let's just add our little notes here. So overnight, let's say footprints of 5 people found around the outskirts of the Liaden estate. Followed and found a fear compulsion, not compilation, compulsion trap meant to send them away from the estate. Tricking Ott into thinking it's an unsafe place. But we wash over that, and then we're going to borrow a boat, Kari, and head off towards Rimefire. Rimefire's lair. Alright, so that's what it is. We do need to update this. It is summer Maiden 14th, which is approximately May 25th. And our weather is still going to be hot. Hot, 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 hot. Hot, hot, hot. Especially as that first sort of like marine layer on the lake starts to burn off that sort of fog that's there in the morning. So we're going to be a little foggy. So I think that's going to cancel out our advantage, at least for a little bit, on the boat, because we would have to go really quickly. We would usually be going quickly, but we have to go slower because we can't see very well. Oh, you're hitting the hay? All right. Yeah. Oh, thanks. You liked the video about the DM tips the other day. Yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Yeah, absolutely. Well, get some rest. We'll see you later. Have a good one. Bye. So, we're going to borrow that boat from Akari, and we're going to head off towards Rimefire's lair. So let's jump to the map. So we're here, and we are trying to get... we're trying to get here. Starting here, and going here. Actually, we could just probably put this on here. I'm going to put this... I'm just going to name that Rimefire's lair, because that's important. This burned camp, no longer important. This Gimbal, and we're just going to put Druid, because he's dead. Alright, so we're going to head off. I mean, we know the way there. We're going to basically go up to, follow the waterway up to here, then we'll hop out of the water and make the last little trek there, overland. Hide the boat wherever we can, and then just take off from there. Alright, so first, roll. Here we go. We're heading out. 3. All right. Anything run into us? No. All right. So we're good. All right. So we make it right there. Let's go to our hex roll tracker. There's no problems moving into that first hex. Smooth sailing. All right. We're gonna move into this hex, which no longer has the corrupted Myrmidon because we dealt with that already. So, another D4. We burn through the fog. And no instances. I rolled a 4, right? 7. Alright, so we're about halfway the day, so I think at that point that's where that sort of marine layer of fog is starting. The sun's come up enough and it's starting to burn off. So now we'll get that advantage back on our ship, or our boat. Didn't need it, but we start making much better time. No issues there. So we move to here. Take an extra 1. Keep moving along. 3. Ooh, and then something comes up. Right, I need a d20 roll on some sort of wilderness dressing. Let's put them together. 18 and 8. This is going to have to be aquatic, so it's going to be kind of interesting what kind of comes up here. $18 and 8. Some underwater ruins. Or hidden cove or island. So not a hidden cove or island, because there's no way we wouldn't see it. But it is going to be... We're passing over the lake, and now that the fog's kind of pulled away, and the water's pretty clear. Like there's not too much sediment that's been sort of brushed up. There's not a lot of algae or anything like that across the surface. So the lake itself, because it's an oasis, is relatively clear. And we can see down, and we can see the sort of just the tips of what looks like roof buildings that are dilapidated, some sort of walls, crumbled stone, things of that nature. Well, I say that, but let me ask myself a question. Is it a boat? Could be a boat that we find. Okay, it's not a boat. Alright, so we find that, and we see that down there. Do we want to investigate that? I don't think that, now that we're 5th level adventurers, I don't think that's something we'd necessarily want to stop for. And even at this point, actually we shouldn't be really doing it that way, but we're within the same hex, so it's fine. Or just the nearby hex. Because usually once I hit 5th level, we're no longer looking at this map. We then start tracking our stuff on this map. Just because the minor things that a low-level adventuring party come across are no longer issues for an adventuring party of our caliber. So we'll do that later, but we're just going to the hex right next door, so it's more fun to just kind of do this fun little bit, see if we come across anything. Oh no, I clicked off of it. Where were we? We moved to here? Is that where we moved? Yes. Yes, I believe so. But we do know there's a grung home there, which maybe is down in sort of these ruins. And among these ruins. So let's just give ourselves a little perception check. That'll give us advantage. Got a +2 to this, so 15. Do we see the grung? Well, that's definitely a 12. So if they're there, we see them. Do we see them? Nope, they're not there. The grung must be out doing something else. We had a little, not really an encounter, but not a combat with the grung. But not really a talk either. They just kind of spooked and went away from us. Alright, so let's keep moving. Uneventful, which sounds bad and maybe makes for bad content, but it's nice for their journey. Uh-oh. Rolled a 1 on that d12. You know what that means. Encounter time. Alright, but we only used 1 status in there, so that's good. So we're making our way still. So there, so we're here, and we're gonna have an encounter. So let's get our encounter up. Who are we bringing with us? I didn't clarify that. So we're definitely bringing Lia. We're definitely bringing Imbar, and we're definitely bringing Jurgen. But I think we may have traded out Delg. I think we may have left Delg behind. Because we're definitely bringing Omer. Who I should probably bring up. Let me get Omer up. I know, I should have updated his character sheet. I didn't know we were going to be jumping on it quite this quickly. But that's how it goes. Let's see. Let me pull up Omer, because Omer's still level 3, I think. Here we go. There you go, yeah. So Omer's still level 3, which is not how the sidekick rules work. So he'll need to be upgraded to 5. But he doesn't get a whole lot extra stuff at level 5. He's going to get exactly the same stuff Ott does, which is not much. He gets expertise in some things, I believe is all he gets that he doesn't have already. Oh no, he does have those expertises. I don't know what he gets other than more hit points. So I'm going to move him up and replace Delg with him, because I think he's hopped in and Delg's... We're going to leave Delg back at the Leaden Estate right now. I think he's had enough adventure, and he can do maybe some more stuff with him there. So we do have Omer with us, but he has more hit points. That's all we need to know. And he got a share of that money as well that we split up with the party, so he'll have maybe a little bit better gear. So I'm not going to actually put him into this combat that we're probably about to have. 2, 3. So we're going to count this combat as having 4 people in it, and we're just going to... Omer's just going to cardboard cutout on the side, be like, I'm also here. So we won't worry about him for this combat, since he's not leveled up appropriately. Alright, so we are up to 5. Let's do some filters here. We're going to need some sort of... So we are in a settled area, so actually I need to... Let's make some rolls. 5 and 12. Okay. So a 12 is... Ooh, some sort of fey presence. Interesting. So these are going to be fey. Now, I do happen to know, just from doing enough mapping, to know that there aren't really any fey creatures that are particularly tied to the water, other than a few hags. So we're just going to kind of leave that however it is. Let's see what we come up just off the cuff. Hey, what do you know? There's a sea hag. There it is. I mean, it's hard to not go with that. It's 2 sea hags. I don't hate that. Let's see if we get anything else. Mean locks. Yeth hounds. Nah, we're not gonna do that. Not gonna do dryads. Yeah, I guess we'll go with these. Let's go with these. Get a sea hag. That's a sea hag with a coven, and then maybe some hags that kind of go with them. No. Let's go with a normal sea hag, and then let's do some like let me do a couple red caps. Yeah, red caps seem right. So 1d3 red caps. How many of these red caps are here? 2. Alright. So we'll have 2 red caps. And a sea hag. It's about a medium. So let's get some monsters. Get some monster stat blocks for us. And look right at it. There it is. Sea hag has +1 to initiative and has 52 hit points. So let's make a combat. Let's go to our combat tracker. Alright, we need a DC. Alright, I have not cleaned this up, obviously. So, Jurgen's here. We'll have C, Hag, and we'll have red cap and red cap. So they're going to go on 11. Delg's not with us. That's going to be... and we're not going to use Omer. So it's going to be Lia, Ott, Imbar. Perfect. And C Hag has... how many hit points? 52. 52. And then we can just look up. Go with red cap. Is it 1? Yeah. Alright, they have 45 hit points apiece. Perfect. 45, not 54. 45 and 45. Technically one word. I'm not gonna worry about that. Alright. So, let's roll some initiatives. Lia. Nope. Nope, I'm not. Imbar. Nope. Oh, or Jurgen. No. Oh, so they just absolutely are going to get the drop on us. So I'm going to give them a surprise round. Because obviously we really fumbled that. Alright. It's not really going to matter the order of everybody down here, but that should be like Ott. I think that's Inbar. Actually, I think that's Lia next. Lia. Inbar. But our ugly friends at the top are going to get a bit of a surprise round on us. Just because they got to see us first. So let's go with the hag. So the hag's going to pop up. I'm going to guess that they're going to pop up out of the water. Though we are getting close to the coast. So there might be like a little sandbar or something that they're going to hop out from. And yeah, they're amphibious. They can be under there. Yeah, I think she's going to pop up and this horrific appearance is going to go off. But I think it's when they start their turn. Unless the target is surprised. So they're going to absolutely have this at the start of their turn. Nobody's frightened yet. Not any of this magical illusion. She is not in layered, so we don't need to worry about the layer actions. But she is going to hop up. I guess she's just going to hop in the boat. So she's just going to... let's figure out what the DC for this scene is. Oh, it's pretty good. So that's going to be an 11. So the DC for the scene is 11, so anything we try to do in here should be an 11. Thereabouts. Plus or minus 3, depending on how easy it is. I think trying to pull yourself into a boat's kind of hard. But she is amphibious, so she needs to make kind of just like an athletics check just to see if she can get in. Which she fails, for sure. So there's a slimy, green, kelpy hand that grabs on to sort of like gunwale of the boat and kind of pulls it, gunwale of the boat and kind of pulls it their way. And everybody in the boat kind of lurches to one side and tries to course correct. Otherwise, so they don't get flipped over as this hag tries to pull herself into the boat. She kind of fails that. She'll take a claw attack at whoever's close. She would have advantage because they're surprised, but she's got disadvantage because she's trying to attack kind of like from the water. So it's a little moot. She's going to make a claw attack, and then we'll figure out who it's against. 7. That's not very good. We got 4 people she could be attacking. Number 4, that's Jurgen. I know for sure that doesn't hit Jurgen. So she takes a scrape at Jurgen, kind of like hits her. I think she has a breastplate on. Breastplate, and kind of scrapes across it with her long, broken nails. And kind of does that action. Let's go ahead and update our a little bit. She scratches across it. Has to pull herself into the boat. And kind of running up her sides are going to be those red caps. And they're going to try to jump in and get her. Alright, here come the red caps. Let's look at the red caps. And grappling. Moves its speed to a creature it can see and kicks it with its iron fist. Yeah, so they're going to try to get in. They have a +6 to athletics, so they're probably going to be fine about getting in here. Alright, one of them fails to get in the boat. But is small, having difficulty. But the other one sort of like scurries up the hag and kind of steps on her hand. As it jumps into the boat. And we'll take a swing at somebody. Oh, they have that cool kick attack, though. Maybe we do the kick. Oh, it only knocks pro. Wow, dang, that's a lot of damage for kick attack. So I think instead of knocking them prone, try to knock them over into the water. So it's going to make that attack, and has a pretty good... Oh, it's a DC 14 saving throw. Okay. Alright, well we got 4 targets, so who's this going to run up against? It's the one that gets into the boat, charges after Ott, pick the biggest, baddest person, who needs to make a dexterity saving throw, who will pass that. Do they take half damage? No. Okay, so no, none. Interesting. Alright, so no half damage as it tries to kick Ott out of the boat with its big iron boots. And the other one can't really... The other one will have to use its entire turn to get into the boat. So it is in the boat. So there's 2 red caps in the boat. And then it's back at the top again. So the sea hag will attempt to pull herself into the boat. The boat is probably shaking all over the place now at this point. She'll try to make the athletics check to pull herself in. She will pass. And she will get into the boat. And she is going to turn on somebody. This one's also going to turn on Ott and try to hit him with the claw attack, right? Unless they have something better. Nope. Just kind of a straightforward, kind of a dinky kind of creature. Alright, +5 to attack. So that's a 15. Does 15 hit Ott? 15 right on the dot hits Ott. I rhymed. It's fun for me. +5 to hit. 2d6 +3 slashing. She grabs Ott and rakes her with these broken, nasty claws. And does 10 points of damage to Ott. Right. So that's the Sea Hag's turn. The red caps are going to go. The red caps are, I guess, going to make sickle attacks. That's kind of their bread and butter. So the first one's going to go after who? 3. 1, 2, 3. So Lia, Ott, Imbar goes after, turns around and goes after Imbar with 3 sickle attacks. I think only one of those is going to hit. What's our bonus? +6? Yeah, only one of those is going to hit. And will that even hit? Oh yeah, 17 on the die. 16 won't hit, but 17 will. And each of those sickle attacks does how much damage? 2d4 +4 slashing damage. It says this wicked sickle that kind of slices them up. So 6 plus, what did I say, 2 or 4? 4, right? And Imbar takes 10 points of damage. Ow. And she will down 38. Not doing well. Alright, that's one red cap. The other red cap's going to turn on who? 2. That's Ott again. Didn't get Ott with the iron boots, so is going to try the sickle instead. Ooh. Miss. I hit and hit. Ooh. So 12 plus 8. So Ott's going to take 20 points of damage. Ow. Red caps are nasty. Alright, Ott's not looking great. So we get torn up because we got surprised and that did not go well for us. Alright, whose turn is it? That was the red caps Sea Hag, who is now also in the boat. So everybody's in the boat. The boat's kind of... at this point, at the end of the round, we'll probably start needing to make dexterity saves just to stand up at the boat. Alright, it is Ott's turn. Ott has this creature in front of him. Ott will... I think everybody's flanking them, because they kind of, I feel like, came in the middle of the boat, so everybody's kind of around them. So Ott's going to do a multi-attack with her spear. Just +5. I believe they have an AC of 14. Oh, not that last one. Ugh. So neither of those are going to hit. Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure that they have an AC of 14. Yeah. So she misses twice with her spear attack, which sucks. It's not great. Does she immediately... She's going to have to probably drink her potion, I think. I didn't think we were going to have to immediately drink the potions, but here we are. So yeah, I think Ott will use her bonus action to drink her regular healing potion and get some hit points back, or else that these next flurry of attacks will for sure take her down. Ooh! Ooh! Gotta love it. Max healing for 10 points. It's back up to 21. No problem. Alright. That's odd. She's trying to, like, maneuver, trying to figure out how to stab this tiny creature in the boat. I mean, they're small. Small creature in the boat with her spear as she's kind of, like, rocking back and forth and trying to keep herself sort of up and righted. And still, you know, in the boat. But unsuccessful there. It is Lia's turn. Lia... I think Lia... I'm just going to roll for it, but I'm pretty sure that Lia can ascertain. I'll do an insight check at the sort of like 11 DC. No, she fails. So she's not really sure who's in charge, even though it seems clear that the hag would probably be in charge. So she doesn't really know who's doing what. What she does know is that these things jumped into her boat and are doing a lot of damage very quickly. So, what is she going to do about that? That's an extremely good question. It's because they are not here to talk. I mean, I think she just uses the magic missile wand. And it feels like a really dire situation. Because these people are like taking away half their hit points like in one go. So we got to get rid of these guys quick. So I think she's just gonna pull out that wand of magic missile, point it at whoever's next to her, which I think is going to be one of the red caps. Let's double check. If it's 1 or 2, it's the hag. No, all right. So it's the red cap next to her, and I think she's just gonna. These are very frightening creatures, so I think she's just going to unload on it. I think she's going to use all the charges but one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry, 6. I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, 6d4 plus 6. Yes, I know it's supposed to be 1d4 plus 1 times 6, but I like rolling more dice. That's a lot of ones, though. Ugh, maybe I should have gone with that one, that 4. Alright, plus 6, so does 20 points of magic missile damage to the nearest red cap, who I don't think is going to have any resistances or vulnerabilities. No. Nope, sure doesn't. So we'll just do straight up 20 points of damage to the nearest one. Which I'm going to say is this one. Just boom, 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 boom. This thing's trying to cut up Imbar. And that's her turn. That's all she can do, I think. I don't think she's going to have any... I don't know if she has any bonus action cantrips. Let's double check. They're going to be useful. At least they're going to be useful in this situation. I mean, she could True Strike herself. But that seems like a very small thing to do. Moldorf's not going to help us. Prestidigitation. No. Guidance. No. Firebolt. Already did that. Okay. That's her then. Just back to that was Lia. It's Imbar. Imbar's going to move around so she can get advantage on the one that's between her and now Lia. It's been magic missiled. And she's going to make an attack with her Moon Longsword. So +7 to attack. And she's going to have advantage for flanking. Yeah, that's a 23. She for sure hits, and she gets to do all her extra damage too. Alright, so that's 15 plus 2, right? Yeah. So 17 points of damage to that same one. So that one's looking real bad. So that's going to be down to 8. So those two, they've turned around on it, and they've turned around on this red cap, and they're maybe turning the tides on this one red cap. Disembark. That leaves us with Jurgen. Jurgen's in the boat. I'm assuming kind of in the middle, so she could get any of them if she wanted to. This does seem like maybe a good chance to use spiritual weapon. Starry Wisp makes a ranged attack roll, which would have disadvantage because she's in melee. Or she could cast Bless. Or she could try to get one of these out of the boat. She's not super strong, but she might be able to. That one hasn't been touched yet. It'd be really great. He does have iron boots on, so presumably he's not a very good swimmer. Or he'd have disadvantage on moving around. I didn't realize they had iron boots before I put him in the boat. Yeah, I don't think that she knows they have sort of advantage on grapple checks. So I think she will try to... Man, but sorry, doing guidance is... Not guidance. Bless would be very good. She could also just cure wounds. No, I think she's going to spiritual weapon. So she's going to spiritual weapon, and that one's going to turn around and attack the one that's on Ott with advantage. Definitely hit. 1d8 plus her wisdom, which I think is 3. Right? Yeah. So that's going to be 9 points of damage, radiant damage, which I'm sure they don't like, but they're not technically vulnerable to. The kind of... This, what's her, I assume it's like a hammer or something because she's a dwarf. This spectral hammer sort of appears and clang! Hits this red cap on the back of the head, and they go like... It like burns and sears them. And they will take 9 damage. And that is the one that has not been hit. Well, she's pretty wise. Alright, yeah, no. She went against the one. She didn't focus fire. Because she's a terrible player. Terrible player. Not focusing fire. Alright, so she has her... And I'll just put this up here. It's her spiritual weapon up. And then she gets to make an attack herself if she wants to. I don't think she could do Starry Wisp, but Starry Wisp, I'm pretty sure... I'll just double check, but I'm pretty sure that Starry Wisp is a ranged attack roll. Yeah. So that is not going to help us. So she'll move into flanking and just try to make a weapon attack, I guess. And get a natural 20. Alright, let's turn the tide. Let's turn the tide of this battle. We're doing a battle on a boat. Turn the tide. This is a very punny session. Alright, so 2d6 plus 1. Yep, that's absolutely average. So 8 points of damage to that one. Additional. Takes it down to 28. And nobody's touched the Sea Hag. The Sea Hag's like, whatever. It is the Sea Hag's turn. Oh, I forgot. They all need to do a thing on their turn. I forgot that. But right now, everybody needs to make dexterity saving throws. Everybody. That's everybody. All right, so let's go down the line from the top. So that's going to be the hag. The hag's going to fail. The hag falls back into the water. Red cap 1 passes. Red cap 2 passes. Ott. Oh no, Ott's in the drink. Leah's fine. Imbar is also going to be fine. And Jurgen is also going to be fine. But Ott fell in the water. She falls in the water. Thankfully, she doesn't have heavy armor on her, else that'd be a real bad time. But she fell in. But everybody else is fine. Okay, the sea hag's up. The sea hag is going to attack somebody. Just to see whoever she attacks. She has, well, she really only has 3 people to target now. 1. So Leah. Oh, sorry, that was, I'm thinking, I have a vision in my head, so it's Ott, Jurgen. So Jurgen would be number 1 because Ott's in the drink. Imbar. Okay, so it is Imbar. So I just need to do that frightened condition just to see if Imbar has it. Imbar is definitely frightened, which means that the sea hag is going to use her death glare. Oh no! Oh no, she is frightened, and she needs to make a DC 11 saving throw. Or she just straight up drops to 0 hit points. Whew, okay. But we do need to update that. So she is frightened. Alright, well, now knowing that. So Imbar locks eyes with this thing, and they're just like, those eyes just like didn't disappear in the blackness, and just like Imbar feels herself kind of fall into them, and she feels like her grasp on like consciousness just start to slip away, and she kind of does the fighter thing where she like shakes her head and like, get your head in the game, and gets back to it. Okay, but we now know that that's a very dangerous creature to leave alive. So that may change how we deal with things. It'd be a great time to have that that poison that blinds someone, blinds a creature. That'd be really useful here. Alright. So, that was the sea hag. Oh, she was in the water. But so she will try to crawl back up. DC 11 again. Does she have a +1 to her athletics? She does. Okay, so she's back in the boat. So she crawls back up into the boat. I probably should have just tried to tip the boat over, but that's not what they're focused on. Okay, red caps. There's 2. One of them's going to need to make a... For sure needs to make a morale check, but the first one doesn't. Ott's in the water, so you can't do anything about Ott, so she's going to turn on Jurgen. It's going to turn on Jurgen and do 3 sickle attacks. Miss. Pretty sure 16 hits her. Yeah. Alright, so we'll just do the 1, luckily. 1d4 plus 4, right? Yep. So 10 points of damage to Jurgen. It slices into Jurgen. Ah. And the other one needs to make a charisma saving throw. 10. That's right on the edge. It may or may not pass. Their charisma is a 9. So that injured one is going to... it's probably smart enough to be like, I'm going to disengage and try to hop back into the water. But here's the question. Without the sea hag's aid, can they actually swim? I guess they can. They have a pretty good athletic score, but they will have disadvantage on it. So it jumps into the water, but with its heavy iron boots will attempt to swim, but has disadvantage, but they have a +6. Yeah, no problem. So this one's swimming away. So this one is swimming away. So it's cut up in bar a little bit, and you see it sort of pull off its sort of Smurf-looking Phrygian hat and wipes it in the blood that's on Jurgen, and then like puts it back on jams it back on its head, and then like dives into the water with its heavy iron boots, sending it down towards the bottom as it swims away underwater. All right, that's the red caps. Ott is in the water. Ooh, that's a good question. Does this thing pass by Ott? Is Ott going to get an opportunity attack? I don't know, 50-50? No. So it's going the other direction. Ott sees that one. Ott could do something about it, but Ott can also see the people who are in there. And sees the sea hag. Who does she go after? I'm going to give her a sort of like perception check to see if she picked up what happened with the sea hag and Imbar. She did. We beat that DC 11. Even if it was a harder DC, we would have gotten it. So she can see it. She's like, okay, the hag is bad news. So I think she's going to go try to grab the hag, and I think she's going to... I don't think she's going to attack the hag. I think she's going to try to get the hag out of the boat. So I think she's going to try to, like, what would essentially be like a grapple push-pull check. So they're going to make opposed athletics checks. She's going to kind of have disadvantage because she's in the water, but... Oh, that natural 20 would have been sweet. But still, the 14's really good. Her athletics is... yeah, decent. So she adds a +5 to that. So... they got to get a 19. My friends, that's a natural 1. That simply will not do for the sea hag. So I think she sort of like reaches over, like leans down and then like hefts her mass up along the railing of the thing and sort of grabs at the back of the sea hag. I assume he has like long tendrils of hair. Grabs the back of her hair. Like, it's probably down to, like, her mid-back. It's all filled with, like, slimy kelp and stuff. And just jerks it. Jerks her head back down. And just kind of whiplashes this creature back into the water. Question? Since they rolled a 1, are we going to do any damage to him? No. Alright. And pulls that hag back into the drink. She has multi-attack. She has her... I assume her spear with her. She will just... stab this creature. I think she's gonna have advantage on this attack. Yeah, and she's gonna just give him a little poke, a little kiss with the spear, and do minimum damage. 3 points damage to the hag as they're now in the water, fighting over it. They are in melee in the water. So that's between. Fell in the boat. No, fell in the water. So they're both in the water, struggling it out. That one red cap is swimming away. It's Leah's turn. Leah's looking around. She sees that creature fall into the water. There's the red cap that was on top of her is now gone. So the red cap's fighting Jurgen, and then can she see the sea hag like pretty well? No, not really. There's just a whole bunch of like water and froth about where the two of them are sort of like wrestling. Ott and the sea hag are wrestling in the water against each other. So we don't need to worry about her being able to see the creature. I guess we do need to see if Ott was frightened, huh? Oh, and matter, she's an elf anyways. Yeah, is Ott frightened? Guess we need to check for that. Alright, well, I screwed that up. I keep forgetting about that frightened condition. But we'll put her down as being frightened. So that'll be bad for her next turn. If this hag can take control of the grapple and see if she can lock eyes with Ott. Alright, so Lia can't really see that, so really Lia's only got one target unless she wants to kill that red cap that's swimming away underwater. So she's only got the one target. What's she gonna do? She's not really hurt. Let's see, Ice Knife blows up, so we don't want to use that. I'm familiar with not using it. We could use a Chromatic Orb. I feel like Chromatic Orb is just a spell we just never end up using. Does Chromatic Orb... I feel like I never use the spell in any games of D&D. On a hit, if you roll the same number on 2 or more of the D8s, the orb leaps to a different target of your choice. Oh yeah, let's do that. Against a different turn, the choice within 30 feet doesn't say that you have to see. So we can also throw this at the witch. Or the sea hag. Alright, so we'll try it first. She's going to summon this orb of rainbow energy and fling it at the red cap. I think we're going to choose fire. We're fighting creatures in the water, so fire seems like a good idea. Either that or lightning. I think you have disadvantage on lightning saves if you are in water. So let's go with lightning. Just in case it ends up hopping over to the sea hag. But we're attacking the red cap that's in the boat first. So we're going to hit them with this lightning. They have to take... a ranged spell attack. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Alright, so we're going to make a ranged spell attack. That's for sure going to hit. It's 3d8 damage. And we did, in fact, roll the same number on more than one die, which means that it is going to hop. But that first red cap's going to take 11 points of lightning damage. Especially, they have the iron boots on. Yeah, they're for sure taking that damage. Alright, so that one's going to take 11 points of damage as it gets hit by the lightning orb. And it's down to 17 hit points. And it's going to jump. She's going to jump and that lightning bolts. That may hurt odd. That's okay. We did what we did. And that's going to hop and we're going to redo the attack, this time on the hag. That's still going to be like a 16 or 17, right? To hit with her spell attack. I think it's 16. Does 16 hit the sea hag? I think. Oh yeah, AC 14. For sure does. Right, I said she was going to have advantage on it. Yeah, for sure. Hey, we rolled doubles again. And we did a lot more damage this time. So 20 points of damage to that sea hag, which is the first... No, it's not the first time been hit. But the sea hag, as she's going with Ott, I think Ott's got to take... I guess Ott's got to take half that damage. That's what makes sense to me. Well, let's let her make a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage. 9 plus her dexterity saving throw is still not going to beat Lia's DC. So she's going to take half damage, so she'll take 10 points of damage because she's holding on to the sea witch when she gets electrocuted. So she's also not looking good. But that thing is going to jump over it and it's going to attack our red cap that's swimming away underwater. As we see, whoosh, the lightning orb into the water and goes after him. Yeah, that's for sure going to hit them. And if we had another target to jump to, I think we could continue to do that with Chromatic Orb. So that's the updated 2024 Chromatic Orb, which I don't think I've looked at, which is way better than the standard 5e one. That's way better. So 8 points of lightning damage. Which is straight up right on the money enough to kill it. As it gets buzzed and gets killed. So red cap, dead. Other red caps not looking good. Sea hag also not looking as spry as she once was. Yeah, all right, chromatic orb got a glow up in 2024, and in a good way. That makes that an actually useful spell to use. Plus all the versatility it has. Alright, so that is Lia, and Lia doesn't need to move. She's a caster. She doesn't have to go anywhere. She can hit everybody all the time, everywhere. Alright, and so Lia, she fries up some friends. Into Imbar. Imbar, does that friend go away at the start of the turn? The creature is frightened for 1 minute, can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turn, with disadvantage if the hag is within line of sight. Okay, so she needs to make... She would have made a save last time. She is not going to make that. Alright, so she is frightened, so she can't get any closer to it. And she has disadvantage on the attacks, which... Whatever. But she also has this creature grappled. Now, she knows that the ice... It seems like the glare is what did it. She did pick that up with her perception, so I think she's going to try to... just, like, keep this creature's hair in front of its face. Like, just try to obscure the eyes. So that's what she's going to do with her attack. So they're just kind of struggling around the water. It's going to be like an opposed athletics check again, I feel like. And I'm going to say athletics because I'm not going to let the sea hag use acrobatics, because I think they're also trying to stay there. And I think they're probably pretty similar stats anyways. Actually, she's better at athletics anyways. I'm going to give her advantage on it. Simply because she can swim, and she doesn't have to worry about breathing, which definitely does. Alright, so let's do the sea hag first. Oof. Dirty 20 for the sea hag. Almost no way Ott's going to be able to do this. Now, comes up with a 10. No. A 14. Not enough, but she is struggling with it. So she isn't able to do that. She'll use her second attack to just try to poke her with the spear, I guess. That might actually hit the sea hag. No, AC 14. No way. And continues to kind of waste her turn. Not really doing a whole lot of anything. So, it is the end of Ott's turn. She does have to make another save. Oh, I think she might actually pass that. She might not be frightened anymore. That would be very clutch. What's her? DC 11. Yeah. She is no longer frightened, though. So, she can't be hit with that terrible effect that just takes you to 0 hit points. That's Lia's turn, so Lia has... Did I forget to do the red cap? Red cap's turn? No, because turn around hit. Never mind. I'm good. Lia, that's Imbar. Imbar is frightened. Did not make her save. Lia did her thing, so... Oh, so... The spiritual weapon needs to be under Jurgen. That's fine. We don't need to adjust that. Imbar is frightened, though. So she has disadvantage. But only on attacks against the hag, I think. Or no, when she's in... Can she see the hag? Question mark. Yeah, she can. Alright, so she has disadvantage. But she will move up and try to position herself to get into flanking to minimize that. So she can attack the remaining red cap. I believe she has... What's her plus to hit? I think that might be right on the nose. A 16. What's the red cap's AC? $14. Okay. So she hits. So she will do her D8 plus 2d6 with the moon sword. Whoop, not that one. Disappointing. 14 points of damage. This one, she cuts into it, and it's barely up. It's looking real bad. As she rams it through probably its gut. Ugh. So he kind of clinched with this gnarly looking sickle, and then breaks out of the clinch and then stabs it. So that is Imbar. That's all Imbar can do. It is Jurgen. Jurgen's going to immediately use a spiritual weapon attack, which also has advantage, which will hit, and it's going to do a d8 plus 3. 7 points damage, so enough to kill this red cap just straight up. And then she still has an action. She can turn around. She can kind of see the sea hag, not really see the sea hag in the water, because they're still thrashing about in there. That's Imbar. I need Jurgen. So she can't move the spiritual weapon because she already... Well, she could have it move. Well, no, because I think the wording specifically says that spiritual weapon has to move, then attack. It can't attack and then move. It has to move first. So she's going to turn around and look at it. She can't do Cure Wound. She could do Starry Wisp, though, but at disadvantage. And I'll give her that. So she's going to do a Starry Wisp attack. That's not going to hit. Alright, that is her turn. That's the end of the round. There are no longer any people in the boat with which who are shaking it around, so we don't have to worry about it, people falling out of it. Because only our team is in the boat at this point. And Lia will turn... sorry, it's the Sea Hag's turn. Well, technically Jurgen can see the Sea Hag. But kind of. So she's going to have advantage on that frightened save, which I think she's going to fail. Yay! 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 No, she has a +6. So she just makes it. Perfect. Whew, I've been real bad. Alright, Sea Hag, up at the top, in the water. Not feeling great. Friends, gone. I think she's probably aware of that. Regardless, she's pretty close to half hit points. She's in the water. Odd's messing with her, so she'll try to. She can't do the gaze on Ott. So instead, she's going to try to escape Artis. You believe you're alive and awake. Yeah, you're good to go now. Took a little nap. We're gonna jump in, and so the Sea Hag is gonna attempt to escape. So again, I'm going to give her advantage. Oh, yeah, she's definitely going to get away. She has a +3 to that roll, 21. Oof. I mean, Ott could meet it, but she is also in the water, so I don't think she's going to beat her. No. So the Sea Hag is able to sort of like kick her way out of Ott, away from Ott, and probably just dive straight down. I don't know. I don't know how much you slept through. I don't know when you fell asleep. We're just finishing up a combat right now. I think can anybody see the Sea Hag on the way out? No. So the Sea Hag dives back down to the bottom of the lake, and we're left to ourselves, our own devices. We will pull Ott back into the boat, which is really hard to do because she's definitely one of the heaviest people, and we're trying to keep the boat from tumbling over. But we are able to get Ott back in. There's not a check associated with it. It's just kind of a pain in the butt. More like passed out rather than left. Well, we are just finishing up a combat, and everything's good there. So we're able to do that, and I think we're going to move into this. Yeah, I think we can get to Rimefire's lair, and then maybe that's where we stop unless we run to another encounter. So we're not looking great, but I think we don't want to hang around to see if more enemies come back. So I think we're going to try to push and try to move on. So we're going to push and move on. 3. Oh, and some other sort of thing that we encounter. All right, so this is pretty much we are at the threshold for the day. We push once more, we could at least get to the place where we're going to sort of portage the boat. We're going to get off the boat and hide it and move around to Rimefire's lair. I think we'll do that, but we do need to figure out what sort of dressing we come across. So we're sort of like in the open ground, just paddling up the river. Let's see if there's anything interesting. 1 and 16. Doop, doop, doop. So a ruined boundary marker. And a large animal herd. Yeah, so nothing too bad. But we do sort of, like, as we're moving up here and we come into the plains, we do see that there are a number... There's sort of like a herd. Let's ask a question. Is it a wild herd? Question mark? Yeah. Wild herd. So we see a ruined boundary marker and a... off to the side, and we've seen this boundary marker before. That's nothing particularly new or interesting to us, but we do see that there is a herd kind of moving through here, which might be like an antelope herd or something like that. They're sort of in the low pastures, but it is a wild herd. It's not like there's a shepherd or goat herd or anything with them. Swine herd, anything like that. So we just see some nice animals. So that's a nice little... that's nice and different. So I think we are going to do one more. We're going to push to at least get here. So let's do that. Let's push. With a boat. Alright, and that takes us +3. And is there anything that we come across? No. Alright. So, +3. So up to an 18. So, this threshold is also going to go up to 18. So now we have to make an active Constitution saving throw. It's probably not going to come up. It's probably not going to be important, but... I basically missed everything that happened. Yeah, well. We talked to some people about some stuff, and then we jumped in a riverboat, and then we got attacked by some fey creatures. That's pretty much what you've missed. So let's see. We are going to make some Constitution saving throws. It's a high DC. We're probably not going to make it. For Lia, that is unfortunately still going to be a fail. It is 17. Ought is going to be a fail as well. Imbar, fail as well. I don't really... And Jurgen's going to fail. Alright, so everybody's exhausted. Everybody has 1 point of exhaustion. So everybody got 1 point of exhaustion. And we pull the boat sort of up on shore. The pillow's too comfy and the bed is too warm. Yeah. So we're gonna pull the boat up on shore in that place where we've pulled it up before. We take a way to sort of like hide it in some underbrush and tie it up so we can find it later. Leave a little marker for ourselves, but not somewhere where somebody's going to run across it and maybe just take it from us. So we're going to hide it. Let's do a little stealth. She's going to have assistance. Jurgen will even cast guidance on her. We'll attempt to survival hide this. I'm going to re-roll that because I forgot she has exhaustion. So that's going to cancel out the bonus, so it's just a flat roll plus the guidance. Oh, well that's way better for us. Yeah, natural 20. So I'm going to put that... so they're going to take that natural 20 to hide the boat. And I think we're going to make camp there, actually. Since we're already exhausted. I think we're gonna make camp there. And then we'll move on to Rimefire's lair in the next morning. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that's a good place to stop. We're gonna bed down. Well, let's see if anything jumps out at us overnight. So we've got 4 people with us, so we'll roll. Actually, we got 5 people with us. More people means there's more chance that something's going to come up, so we'll just roll. Nothing came up. Okay, so we have a nice, uneventful night. We do need to roll for some rations. So you've restored everything. Did you have a big or small rest? I don't know. Was it 8 hours? Or was it 1 hour? It sounds like you got a short rest. Not a long rest. Alright, we got the 4. So we are good on our rations. Everything's good there. We don't have to worry about the feed. We didn't use any arrows, so we're good there. So everything should be good. So we bed down for the night. We're going to have that. When we wake up in the morning, it'll be a new day. We'll finish the last couple of hours or so it takes to walk over to where we know Rimefire's lair to be. And we'll check in with Rimefire and find out more about this chaotic corruption that's going on with him. And hopefully it hasn't taken him over completely. I'm sure Omar's worried. We're all worried, but especially Omar. But that's it. You know, a lot of bookkeeping stuff up front, and then this surprisingly difficult battle there towards the end. But that's gonna be everything for us now. And next time, we'll check in and see how things are going. Hopefully everything with Rimefire is going fine. But that's going to be it for us today. Thanks for hanging out with me. Really fun. Didn't really know where the session's going to go. Never do. I knew we were going to talk about some stuff that's coming up, but didn't know we were going to find out anything about Rimefire. So this is all brand new information. That's a brand new rabbit trail for us to run down and see how that's connected to anything else. And then maybe we can find out some more stuff about the Fargrim stuff, the Peddler stuff, the Cult of Narimanah, move back on and see if we can get some of that put together. But always fun. Great to have you guys along. If this was your first time, I don't know why you picked this to be the first one. There's a whole bunch of other episodes. You can go find an entire playlist on the channel that has it. If you want to support what we do here, the best thing you can do, like, subscribe, and share this. More importantly, share this content on Reddit, your favorite RPG forum, social media, all that good stuff. Other things, we have DriveThruRPG's store page, so if you want to check out like the agriculture chores that we have for the peasants, that's up there, as well as some quick references and some other stuff that I use for the games. You can check out all that stuff. There's a coffee link in the description if you want to just give us a few bucks. That's always nice. But that's going to be it. It was lots of fun. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. And I will see you guys next time. Alright? Bye-bye.